Our next presenter is Mr. Zach Fiorella, Customer Success Manager at LinkedIn.
Hey everyone. Thank you all so much for letting me have the opportunity to chat. Really excited to be a part of this. I know Career Services over at your college is just doing tremendous things, as I was speaking with Linda about earlier. Just the fact you're also agile and getting all this great information out to students so proactively is fantastic to see. I love seeing it. Anyway, my name is Zach Fiorella. I'm a Customer Success Manager here over at LinkedIn Learning. My role is really to make sure everyone is getting the most value from everything that we offer, whether it be LinkedIn Learning, job hunting, and I work specifically with higher education. So very excited to speak with you all today. What I'm going to be covering is just a really baseline level about how, as a student, especially in these crazy times right now, you all can be leveraging LinkedIn to help build your professional brand. You really get ready for graduation, post-graduation, as we navigate these interesting times, how to use all the great resources that the college has offered to you all. So we have things like LinkedIn Learning. There's also additional features on LinkedIn that aren't so widely known that I'll discuss. A little bit about LinkedIn unemployment research and unemployment information. Talk a little bit more about skills that are really in demand right now. And lastly, how to just leverage it overall to get hired, get noticed. So that's what we'll be covering today. So I'm going to share my screen, and after the fact, we'll leave you with a little more information and some cool infographics that we'll send out after the fact. So, are you all able to see my screen? I will take that as a yes. Awesome. Yeah. Well, again, this is going to be the student's guide to LinkedIn and how you all can leverage it and really get a jump on the market. I know things are tough. I also graduated into a recession. It's a crazy time, and we want to make sure that you have the utmost skills, utmost research, and ability to really dig in. So again, we're going to cover a little bit about building your professional brand. LinkedIn is somewhat different from your professional resume, where we want to make sure that you are bolstering all your best skills, you're telling your career story, you're leveraging LinkedIn Learning, so you can really bolster your current skill sets and get ready for future, and then get hired. So around building your professional brand, this is going to take you to get noticed for your future boss, for recruiters, for peers. So we do know that most of jobs nowadays are filled through referrals. That doesn't necessarily mean knowing, having a direct friend, family member who works there, but really networking. And the earlier you can start building your professional network and ramping up those networking skills, the better off you're going to be in the long term, whether it be, navigating the situation right now for internships, for, graduating your first role, or down the line. There's a lot of great things you could do to start building your professional network and networking skills earlier on. So 9 out of 10 companies you recruit on LinkedIn, all the Fortune 500 too. So really, it's an incredible tool to bolster. So how are we going to do that? And we're not going to get too in depth today just because of time constraints, but we'll send out some infographics a little bit after this so you have more information there. But the 5 must-have in your LinkedIn profile, if we're going to condense it to just that, is info on your education, a great photo, info on your experience, volunteer experience, and your skills. And these are 5 really important things, because when recruiters go to search for people and search for candidates to fill those critical job roles, these are the types of filters they're going to be looking at. If we want to get further into the fact, then creating a good headline that's captivating, creating a great summary that isn't too long, but just definitely starts to tell your career history. But if we're going to 5 must-haves, it's going to be these 5 right here. And again, we do know that most managers, most hiring managers, almost all recruiters do look at a candidate's profile on LinkedIn. So we want to make sure that that's telling your story in the best way possible. So we think about your education, obviously post your either your expected graduation, what you've done. If you want to post any great projects or classes that you did, fantastic. Again, remember to keep it consumable. You are selling your brand, you're selling yourself, but make sure you're highlighting all the best things. So if you have a fantastic GPA, post that. If you double majored or what have you, make sure you're highlighting those things. Around photo, have a great professional photo, just yourself. You see that profiles with photos have 50 times their chance at getting looked at than profiles that don't. So make sure you do. Again, great photo. You don't necessarily need a professional headshot anymore. iPhones have great cameras, so have a friend take a great picture, smiling face on a neutral background. And then when it comes to experience and volunteer experience, this is where students can get a little tripped up. With experience, the thing I like to say is all experience is relevant experience. No matter what kind of roles you've done, if you are trying to get a corporate type job, that's a sales job, let's say hypothetically, and you were a bartender prior, that's great experience because that builds up your soft skills. So make sure you're highlighting all that great past experience that you have that you might not have thought that actually translates. It really does, because all experience is relevant experience. It's just how you talk about it. There's lots of soft skills that are very, very, very transferable. So I want to make sure we're, again, highlighting those. And let's say you don't have any actual professional experience. If you have a lot of great volunteer experience, make sure you're highlighting those. If you were in a club, if you were in a leadership role especially, make sure you're highlighting all those accomplishments because they're going to be really impactful to tell your professional story. And then the last thing we want to highlight is skills. On LinkedIn, make sure you're highlighting all the skills you have. You can get endorsed by others for skills, and that's a great way to start networking a little bit. You can get referrals from others, and you can write referrals for others as well. So make sure you're bolstering that. On LinkedIn right now, for a subset of skills, mostly technical skills, you can actually take tests and certify that you are a LinkedIn, you are certified for that type of skill set on technology, and it's going to help recruiters find you that much quicker and that much better. So make sure you're highlighting those. And on the topic of skills, when we look into some of the most in-demand soft skills for 2019, so these are transferable ones that are going, could be really applied to any type of role. We see creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and time management as the big 5 most in-demand soft skills. So as we're thinking about, if you haven't necessarily written your resume yet or built your LinkedIn profile yet, make sure you're thinking about them from this angle. How are you showcasing that you have creative skills? How are you showcasing that you're a great collaborator and you're adaptable? So lots of great things there. If you have any questions, definitely type them into the chat box. Happy to answer them. But again, lots of organizations are looking for people that have these skills, and these are things that's not easily automatable. They're things that they really are looking for. If we look at most in-demand hard skills, these are going to be really around AI, computing technologies, UI design, UX design, people management. A lot of these really analytical skills that, again, you could definitely want to take. And there's lots of great ways to do this. Obviously, at college, there's going to be a ton of great courses that have things around this, but there's just such a wealth of information and a wealth of things that organizations are looking for. If you're looking, for career changes, or you're looking for other skills that you want to master, especially right now while we're all home, locked away, take some time, start, prepping for what you want to learn next, what you want to do. Again, I know it's a tough time for all of us, and just getting through, but there's lots of great things we can do. So a little bit of how you can actually master some of these soft skills, some of these technical skills, is through some great LinkedIn learning courses. LinkedIn Learning is an online platform. It has a ton of content out there. It's all produced in-house. It has a great learner experience and a lot of insights. When you go in, it's going to start recommending content based off of your interests and based on what's in demand in the job market. And the fantastic thing is your college provides it, or York provides it for everyone. So everyone on campus has access to LinkedIn Learning. So once you log into the platform, you're going to see a couple things. It's going to ask you if you want to connect your LinkedIn profile to your LinkedIn Learning account. That is not mandatory. It's I would say I would encourage it just because it's going to give you better recommendations, better things that are more relevant to you that you're going to be really interested in. Again, this is all great content that you could just search for. It's a huge library full of technical skills, soft skills, business skills, creative skills that you just go in. I recommend digging through the platform itself. Virtually anything that you want to learn is going to be on there. It even gets into things like if you're right now, I know, again, times are tough. It's a unique, challenging experience for everyone, and that could weigh pretty heavily. So there's great courses on mental agility, facing a challenging time. There's another great course, there's a great learning path actually that we launched recently on navigating uncertain times in a job market. So lots of great stuff. I would highly recommend digging through some content and watching. What you can actually do once you get into the platform is start searching for courses, and when you find a course, you'll see, what's in your learning history, what's been recommended from your, what's in progress, things like that. And once you actually are able to find a course, watch it, you could join the Q&A feature, because we do know people learn in different ways, and then you could share your skills, share your credentials on LinkedIn. You could post it to your LinkedIn profile. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but you'll get a credential certification, and then it's going to highlight any skills that are associated with that. And then you can add it to your profile. You don't necessarily have to add it to your profile. And digging through, there's actually a lot of certification prep courses. So if you're prepping for AWS certifications or project management certification or a SHRM certification for HR, or if you're a CPA, so on and so forth, there's lots of certification prep courses ratified by those organizations. So you're not necessarily having to go out and spend money on these courses. You can get all that information right here online. Again, you just want to make sure you're equipping yourself. There's tens of thousands of courses on here, tens of thousands of different types of learning paths that you can find. You just want to make sure you're going through. And again, your college definitely has access to this. If you go in, you can search for it on your website. You'll find this page. I just click into as a student. You want to activate your account, and once you activate it, again, you can connect your account or not, and then you just log in with your credentials, and you'll be able to get right in and dig through the platform and really see what's out there. And your career services team has put together some fantastic resources for students. So I recommend digging through the site a little bit. Again, they've already did some of the legwork for you all to find the most skills that companies are looking for, how to find a job, what resources you might need to navigate today. Lots of great courses. It looks like somebody has a question on certifications. Yes, absolutely. So all the certification prep courses are free. Every course on LinkedIn Learning is all included, so there's no additional cost associated with any of it. So the certification prep courses, and actually if you already have a certification like SHRM or CPA or what have you, you can actually take continuing education credit courses to keep your certification up to date and not have to spend any extra money. And if you're having trouble digging through that, there's a filter on the left-hand side when you're searching through content to search through those specific certification prep courses. So a little bit about how to get prepared, and let me know how I'm doing on time. But there's lots of things you can do. The four most important things to do with job hunting and just how to get hired. And right now, again, I know it's a crazy time, and if you're doing some of these steps to prep yourself for down the line, to really find roles and you get noticed by recruiters or organizations, these are some great steps to take to just bolster your networking or your network overall. So I don't want to follow companies you're interested in. I want to explore jobs. That you can do that by searching your set preferences. You can create job alerts. So let's say there's an organization you're really interested in working for, and there's no open roles right now for what you want to do. You can create an alert, and that way when a job role opens up for that specific role, you'll get an alert, you'll get an email alert in LinkedIn saying this role just opened, and you could go click in and be one of the first applicants and give you the best chance of being hired. Looks like we have another question came in. If a student graduated last year, will they still be able to use LinkedIn Learning for free? As it happens, no, this is reserved strictly for current, again, we want to tap your protections. So why is really just they work for those roles that you're interested in, and they want to connect with people who like the same things that they do. So what this say is you really just want to ask or say who you are, ask a little bit about how they can help you, and speak to really how you came across their profile, and just show genuine interest in those people, and they are really receptive. And then again, add some alerts to roles you're interested in, follow companies, learn about what's out there just by browsing job descriptions, finding who's there, learn about the company culture, and so on like that. One of the things you can actually do that we see in people who get offers is following companies. So by following companies, you show a genuine interest in that organization, and they're going to be more inclined to look at your role. There's actually a filter on LinkedIn for recruiters to speak with people who are following their organization. So again, that's just another great way if you identify organizations that you're interested in, start following their companies. Again, we want to set up job alerts, and that's pretty easily done by searching for the role here in the part of in the city you want, or just if you don't want to filter for city, you don't have to do that. And then set the filter and start saving jobs. And if the more jobs you save, the more the system's going to know what kind of stuff you're interested in and start recommending content, recommending roles for you. And then again, just want to make sure we're following companies, following influencers, and following any industry that you might be interested in. It's just going to, again, help bolster your profile, make recruiters more interested in speaking with you because they know what you're interested in. And with that, again, dream jobs closer than you think. I know this is a really unique time. So any resources we can have to provide, I'm happy to help. Again, I do recommend checking out linkedin.com/unemployment. If I know we were speaking about that earlier. New York is not part of that beta test yet. What we can actually do, if you apply through roles through LinkedIn, it'll log that in a PDF type format for you, so you have all the filters there. So when you speak with the unemployment office and are discussing, I've been applying for these roles, you can actually just show them the PDF that LinkedIn creates for you. And I guess with that, any additional questions? I know I went through some of this kind of quick.